right, good morning. It is Friday, January 20th, 2025. I'm Anthony. This is Drive Dive. Thanks for being here with me, watching this clip. I hope you've, subscribed to the channel, checked out some of the other videos, and just to remind you who I am, right? I'm a teacher, I'm a father, husband, right? I got a bunch of different hobbies where I'm into, dabbling in YouTube, and I like to work out, and I play Disney Lorcana, so like all these different things kind of happening, and trying to fit it all in, right? Just all the adulting and what goes into raising kids, and maintaining a household, and having a career, but then too these hobbies of whether it's filming and editing and playing Lorcana, weightlifting, counting my macros, and then the food prep and everything. There's just a lot that I try to do, and I've been exploring, I guess really initially on my own and with you, how to streamline some of those things, how to maybe double dip with some of my efforts and things where, okay, if I do activity X, maybe that's helping me both be a better father and be better in the gym, if that's possible. I don't even know, just throwing that idea out there. But things of that nature. And so I've been talking about synergy and productivity, and not just wanting to be spinning my wheels. Like, it's cool, and I think I'm often proud that I get a lot done, that I'm involved in a lot of things, that I've got these diverse interests, and that I don't just sit around and watch a ton of television, and then at social gatherings talk about all the different TV shows and television that I've been watching. To me, it just seems wasteful, and there are missed opportunities or something out there. So that's what I've been exploring, and I stumbled upon this book, audio book, right? Atomic Behavior by James Clear. It's kind of helped me put a lot of these thoughts, I guess, into perspective, or it's shedding certainly additional light on these thoughts and goals and systems, and our habits and routines, and then our identities, and how all of that sort of fits together to, I guess create, I don't know, daily rituals, habits, routines, and determines ultimately whether or not we're making progress towards goals or not. Are the things we do in tune with or in sync with our identities, or without realizing it, are they counter to our identities, either how we currently identify or how we would like to identify? And I thought, where I am in the book right now, I think the author James, he talks about a lot of our habits and routines, and how they stem from, I guess, like our base desires as animals, right? Human beings as animals, but how we've evolved over time, and having some of these things like built into our DNA that really stem from problems from eons ago, and now, but our responses, I guess, remain. And so some of those things are, he talks, right, I guess the humans, and our need to find a mate, our need to procreate, our need to belong. And I guess he says that, right, our need to belong, which I feel immensely at times, our need to belong stems from just what we learned as creatures, as beings, that, well, when you do belong to a group, to a tribe, it increases your chances of finding food. It increases your chances of defending against, I guess, right, again, evolutionary, defending against initially predators, and then I guess it turns into defending against, other tribes and states and nations, etc. But also increases your chances of finding a mate, of procreating. And so this notion of this desire to belong is just is programmed into our code, into our DNA, is what I guess the research that James Clear shares in his book Atomic Habits demonstrates. And so I've reflected on that a lot with like seeing it in my classroom, where I'll have a handful of students who just, for no real rhyme or reason, they're just goofy together, and I can't imagine that they are goofy by nature, that they're goofy in all settings, they behave this way inappropriately, all settings, around all people, and so like what triggers that? And I'm guessing it's possible that their desire to belong is what triggers that. And some of the research James highlights are these experiments where there's one subject in a room full of actors, and when asked a question, the actors answer the question incorrectly. They intentionally answer it incorrectly when there's an obvious right answer, and they're testing to see whether or not the subject provides the obviously correct answer, or if they go with the crowd and provide the knowingly incorrect answer. And the research shows that the greater the number of actors in the room, the more likely that the subject knowingly provides the incorrect answer. He goes on, right? I guess the researchers, they'll document like the anxiety and the different. Oh my goodness! Like they're right, all the self-doubt and the signs that the subject demonstrates as they're wrestling with the. Wait, hold on a second. Like, can all of these people really believe, that this is the correct answer when it's really that, But ultimately, I guess that desire to belong can be stronger than our desire to be right. He says that I guess at times we would rather be wrong and belong than be right and be alone. It's just so interesting to me, and I guess I don't, and I'm thinking about myself here, right? I don't know that I do that terribly often. I got one of my, I like to dissent. I like to be the contrarian, right? And offer a different opinion, a different view. And I like to question habits and routines of math departments, of school buildings, of the organizations I've been a part of. But I do at the same time often need to feel that my approach, my questioning, my thinking is valued and is welcome to the group, by the group. And I have done that. I did leave an employer when I did feel like I didn't belong. The folks I was closest with at the time seemed to be leaving the organization. So, right, I'm already kind of feeling like, oh, right, there's that connection, and okay, well now who's left, and who do I connect with, who can I talk to, who's going to be my thought partner, etc. And then I started to realize that like my bosses didn't quite value my thinking, didn't quite value my input. Wasn't getting their performance reviews or ratings and things, that I was hoping for. And I had a private conversation about, different practices and values. Like, oh, well, we just don't do that as an organization. And a lot of that didn't sit well with me. And so I left. And yeah, that desire to belong, can be really strong. And it has me thinking about, other questionable behaviors, right? Like why join a gang, right? Why do some students, some adolescents, join gangs? And I think it's sometimes, right, that desire to belong. And so, yeah, I don't know, but so I mean, it can happen for. It says like the same behaviors can be good, but it can also be bad. The same habit can be a good habit. It can also be a bad habit, right? So I mentioned the example of gangs, right? Or, but there are also positive reasons to join a group. There are ways to use this human desire, this human need to belong. And he mentions in a company. Oh goodness, what is it? Like Nerd Fitness or something. I might be wrong, but Nerd Fitness, and I think it's a company that tries to identify people who have similar hobbies, like if they playing video games, like playing trading card games and things that sort of. Let's Dungeons and Dragons, right? Let's find that first. Find a group of people that have these similar interests. Oh, that also want to work out, that also want to get in shape. Thinking that the initial, like, let me just join this gym, not knowing if I'm going to connect with, the stereotypical gym rats, even though the people at the gym aren't necessarily gym rats and aren't, we have these assumptions about people who go to the gym and their hobbies and their interests, and maybe I won't be able to connect with them. But if I know at the onset that I already have X in common with them, then, right, I might be more likely to join that group and be accepted by that group, belong to that group. We have these other things in common, and yes, we can help each other with our fitness goals as well. So it's all just interesting stuff to me, and so trying to, I think at times, right, as I did mention these things explicitly, to my students yesterday, trying to help them understand, bring to light some of their hobbies and routines, but at the same time not judge, right? Share with them as well that I'm like, yeah, even as an adult male, if I get together with some of my old buddies and like you put enough of us in the same room together, like, yeah, we kind of act like not ourselves. We just have this. We think that when we're together we need to act a certain way, or it's just so interesting, human behavior and all. The other thought I wanted to share, a little success. A couple of successes, right? I think last Friday I just titled the video "Celebrate." So a couple things to acknowledge and give myself a little pat on the back, and I encourage you to do the same. I did mention these. One of the other things from James Clear, he talks about cues and how maybe one cue can trigger multiple behaviors, and when that happens, I guess the habit is or the tendency is to then go with the easiest of those behaviors. And so for me, a cue is at night sitting down on the couch in the basement. That's a trigger to eat my late night meal. It's a trigger to play a game on my computer. It's a trigger to watch TV, to grade papers. They're just all of these things that I do in that spot. Things I want to do, things I need to do. And what ends up happening is I tell myself, like, I do need to grade. I need to grade papers. Gotta grade papers. But then I sit down, I eat, and I tell myself, I'm gonna turn on the TV, just watch something, but only while I eat. And then when I'm done eating, I'll turn off the TV and get to grading papers. And inevitably, I don't do that. I don't grade papers, right? I'll eat, I'll watch TV, and then I'm done eating, and I keep watching TV. So last night, I did will myself to not turn on the TV. Instead, I ended up playing a video game while I was eating. But as soon as I was done the video game, as soon as I was done eating, I then got up off the couch, went and sat down at the desk, and I actually graded some papers. So, right, when there's a will, there's a way. And having just that change of location from one space, one cue, sitting in this spot, these are the activities. Well, when I went and sat over by the desk, the intended activity there was to grade papers. That's where I in my head, I'm set up to do that. So that's what happened, right? So, like I said, a little pat on the back and encouragement for you to do the same, to set up your space. Space is, so you have that divide and can get done what both you want to do and what you need to do. The other is, I guess this is the second week in a row where I have gone 5 for 5. This is my 5th video of the week, one every day. I do think this is a nice habit, nice routine. Another thing, right? In case you haven't watched the other videos, this is habit stacking, right? It's just something I'm already doing. I'm already getting into the car. I'm already getting my phone out, hooking it up to, my car and stuff, and GPS. And so, in addition to that, when I do that, I will also, just set up my phone on a little holder here and press record, share my thoughts. So, anyway, I hope you've enjoyed watching. I hope you've checked out some of my other videos, and please give us a like, give me a comment, something to engage with you. I did share that one of my hopes, thoughts in creating this channel would be to join a community, but we can create one too. I have shared some of my interests, activities, hobbies, roles, etc. If we share any of that, let's just share some more, right? Leave a comment down below. I promise to respond, and I don't know. That's it, man. Thanks. Like, subscribe. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend. Peace.